What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Too Pop to Handle. I'm your host, Andrew Nucatola, your pop culture best friend, and as always, I hope you guys are having a fabulous week. And more importantly, for my girls, gays, and theys, happy fucking Pride Month. We have made it. The Gay Olympics are here, and we are in it. I feel like Pride Month, especially the fact that it started on a weekend, just this month is giving such a different vibe than Pride's in the past. It was literally kickoff to Pride from day one because June 1st was a Saturday. We are wasting no time this Pride Month, and I am wasting no time either. We kicked off Pride Month with really the best way possible. Friday night was Pride Eve, I guess you could call it, and I won an open bar at a straight bar, which, like not ideal, but free liquor is free liquor. So we kicked off Pride Month a little bit early on Friday, and we ran up the tab at the open bar at this straight bar because, like, pay the gay people for being gay, it's Pride Month, give us what we deserve. Ran up the tab there, left once the open bar was ended. It ended at 10. By 10:01, we were out the door, walked our way over to the West Village, grabbed a slice at Bleecker Street Pizza, and then we got right in line for Playhouse, and it was fabulous. We had such a fun kickoff to Pride Month, and it is just shaping up to be just a fabulous month. I mean, Pride is always great, but like, especially in a big queer city such as New York, it is just like everywhere you go, everywhere you look. Not to quote the Full House theme song, but you know what I'm getting at. But yes, it was a fabulous weekend, very, very fun. We had a chill weekend after Friday night. Friday night, we went hard. We were out very late. If you guys follow me on TikTok, I posted the funniest, I mean, I think it's the funniest video I've ever made. I guess I was just like in my content creator influencer era, and I was in the Uber home because there was no way I was getting on the subway in the state of mind that I am in, or like lack of state of mind I was in. Your boy was on another planet, and we got in the Uber. We were on our way home. Don't know where I was. I probably somewhere on like 7th Avenue, and I took it into my own hands to film the beauty of Manhattan. But what I really filmed was like an urgent care and a Chipotle, and I even was like lowering the exposure in the back of the Uber. Like, I thought I was eating down in these videos, and I was like, this is gonna make such a pretty little montage one day when I do like my 2024 dump, pretty pretty skyline, this and that. It's literally like a dive bar, an outdoor eating area, and an urgent care, and then a Chipotle. Like, it is the funniest thing I've ever filmed. So if you don't follow me on TikTok, go check that out. I woke up the next morning because there's always that unspoken, like, all right, let me wake up, let me check my phone, make sure I didn't post anything, text anyone, and then you check your camera roll to see like what perspired from the night, and you can see like where the night starts to get blurry. You can see like, oh, my cute cocktail, oh, the pictures at the bar, oh, the pretty this or whatever. And then it's just like that shift. For me, it always starts with a disco ball video. I know as soon as I look at my camera roll and there is a disco ball video, I know my night is taking a turn because I am immediately like, oh, how pretty is that disco ball for my Instagram story, as if I haven't posted a disco ball 6,000 times on my Instagram story. But as soon as I go into my camera roll, that after a night out and I see that one close up, zoomed in disco ball video, I'm like, okay, this is where the night took a turn. This is where the liquor was hitting. And this is where, Andy, my drunk persona, came out. And Andy was out and about. We had the time of our lives. But so much fun kicking off Pride Month, and the fun does not stop. We have even somehow a funner weekend because we are going to Govball. Tickets are secured. We have our wristbands. Actually, I'm picking them up tomorrow, but regardless, we have our wristbands. I will be at Govball. I am so excited, you guys. If you've been listening for a while, you know that this lineup is literally like they took my Apple Music replay and just put it into a festival lineup. I can't even express how excited I am for this festival. And as annoying as I am, before I even had tickets, I started making a list in my phone, like on the Notes app, of all the content that I wanted to create. Even without tickets, I was like, I'm just gonna make this list now so I know what I want to do. I have it broken down by day, by artist, all 3-day content. Like, I'm ready to be so annoying on social media this weekend, and I just don't care because I'm excited to do it. And I feel like if people who put people down for things that they're excited to do are the worst kind of people. So if anybody finds me annoying this weekend, I don't really care. I am going to be posting like it's my job. So make sure you are following me on TikTok, on Instagram. I'll be posting on the podcast, I'll be posting on my personal. There's going to be lots of content, lots of fun stuff. The lineup this year is literally so good. Like, I cannot get over it. I am so excited. SZA, Renee Rapp, Chappell Roan. I don't think I've ever been more excited for a set in my life than I am to see Chappell Roan this weekend. Like, I, I can't even express the feeling of just like the pure joy that is going to radiate off of me from the second she hits the stage to the second she finishes her set. Like, I I'm so excited. So just gonna be such, I mean, Sabrina Carpenter's gonna be there, Flo. So I'm forgetting people, Post Malone. Like, there's so many good artists this year, and I cannot wait. I love Gov Ball. This will be my eighth Gov Ball, I think. Yeah, eighth Gov Ball, which is crazy to think about. I've been going for so long, and I just can't wait. I'm so excited. So make sure you're staying tuned for that. We will do a full recap next week, and that leads me into some housekeeping. If you're not following me on Instagram, you didn't see, or Twitter, but we have a little bit of a janky schedule for June, and obviously you're listening to this on upload day. It is a Thursday, which is not my usual upload day. I'm usually a Wednesday girl, but I had some dental work done yesterday, and yapping was just like not in the cards for me. I was like, I need to lay low and like relax, because if I don't feel good for Gumball this weekend, I will be making it everybody's problem. So I took the night off. And so next week is going to be the same thing, for good reason, because I am going to see Charli XCX next Tuesday. So I will have such a jam-packed episode for you guys next week. We'll have Govball recap, Charli XCX recap. Like, there's going to be a lot. I'm definitely gonna need an energy drink or four. So we'll do it. Like, I'm gonna get there, but it's gonna be a good. I mean, it's always a good episode, but it's gonna be a specifically good episode next week, because you guys know that concerts are like my love language and my thing, and like there's nothing I like more than talking about live music. I'm very excited. So yes, like I said, schedule will be a little bit weird. We'll be uploading on Thursdays for the next 2 weeks, and then the week after that it'll be TBD. So make sure you're following me. I have an appointment on Tuesday, so depending how that goes, we will see. But regardless, you will still be getting episodes. I will still be uploading. It'll just be a day late. So my apologies there. And before we hop into our pop culture things, that's really what we're here for. I need to we have to have some girl talk, because, and I don't want to get all woohoo on you guys and like, you know, supplements and TikTok, this and that, but like I I famously have a hard time sleeping. I don't fall asleep easily. I don't stay asleep. Like, I don't have a good sleep pattern, I guess you could say. So, of course, my favorite doctor in the world, the TikTok app, has been feeding me the Sleepy Girl mocktail for months. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to try it, not going to try it, not going to try it. Because I've taken melatonin before, and I go through phases where I'll try it and I'll take it every single time. I get the absolute craziest night terrors where I am like, literally, I wake up like in a sweat, almost crying. I've gotten sleep paralysis from melatonin. Like, that is just, I am not a melatonin girly. It just is not for me. It works until it doesn't, and there's no telling when it's gonna stop working. Like, it legitimately will put me to sleep in seconds for a week, and then the next week I will literally be having full-fledged sleep paralysis, like seeing shit in my dreams in real life while I'm like, it's crazy. It's just like, I should probably get it checked out, but like, whatever. That being said, the Sleepy Girl mocktail has been shoved down my throat for so long on TikTok, and I was like, not gonna try it, not gonna try it, not gonna try it. I also couldn't find the magnesium for it, and I was like, I don't know why I wouldn't just order it on Amazon. I there's something, this is like a inner monologue thing. There's something with me where I will wait until the last possible second to order something, or if I know I can get it in a store, I will refuse to order it on Amazon, because I'm like, no, I'm gonna find it in a store. And then I just never end up buying it. And magnesium was one of those things. And then I was at Target and saw that they had little magnesium gummies. And I was like, you know what? Let me get these girls. Let me try them. And for a while, I was like, I don't know if they're actually helping me sleep. Like, I don't know. They were working, but I was like, is it really working, or is it like a placebo effect? Let me tell you, these shits were working. I forgot to take them Saturday night. I like got home. I was just like, I was already exhausted. So I was like, I'm not going to take it. I'm just going to go to bed. I was up and down all night long. I woke up in like so unrested the next morning. Sunday night I took it, slept like a baby, and I've been taking it all week like a baby. So again, not to get all woohoo on you guys, but you guys knew, the TikTok girlies knew what they were talking about when they said to take magnesium. So if you're looking for something to help you sleep, might be it might help. I will say this does I have very vivid dreams in general. Like, not to get all psyche on you guys, but like my dreams, I remember pretty much all of my dreams. Like, they just I'm one of those people who like remembers everything he dreams about. I have like very vivid dreams where like they feel real. When I take the magnesium, I've been taking it for like probably like a month, and I have dreams that feel so real. I literally, and they're like normal dreams. So like last week I went grocery shopping in my dream. The week before that, I was at Thomas's parents' house upstate. Like, I'm in places that I know, and I'm doing like regular tasks, which I will take as somebody who's literally had sleep paralysis and like night terrors and like woken up in full sweats and like screaming in my sleep. I will take grocery shopping in my dreams and like sitting at my desk working in my dreams over that. But it's definitely like, if you can't, I've grown to be like, okay, no, that was a dream. Like, I did not buy apples at the grocery store yesterday. That was a dream. I can, I can differentiate it. But if you are not someone who can do that, maybe microdose, or maybe, try something else. But just my disclaimer, not, again, not to get all woohoo on you guys, but they were onto something with those supplements. And with that, I think I've yapped enough. I think I've gotten out the yaps, and I'm ready to rock and roll and hop in to what we're really here for, some pop culture news. So without further ado, let's kick off our show, as we always do, with our Drew releases, and there's some exciting ones this week. So last week we had 3 releases. I thought we had none and ended up being 3. So love when that happens. First up on our list is Candy Paint by Normani. Now, I like the song. I do. I like the song. I think it's good, and it is getting me geared up for the album. I've been seeing people have heard the album early, like editors and things like that, and they are loving it. So I'm not worried about liking the album. I'm worried about the rollout for this album because like there isn't one. Like, they announced Candy Paint, I think Wednesday, without teasing anything. Nothing. And like, if you've been following the rollout, I've been talking about it as it happened. Like, it is just like not very present, for lack of a better word. So when they announced that Candy Paint was coming out, it did no noise. Nobody even realized it was coming out, and then it didn't do well at all. Which, I mean, it's the second single, so like it is what it is, and the album comes out in 2 weeks, something like that. That's the thing. I don't even know when the album comes out because there's no promo around it. There's like nothing. There's no drive for this album. Like, the Rolling Stone article came out today, which is exciting. I will be reading that. I haven't yet, but I'm just like, where's the excitement? Where's the press events? Where's the fan signings? Like, where's the Rough Trade signing? Where's the Today Show appearance? Where's the this? Like, I don't know who Normani pissed off in like the record label world, but like, god damn, they are playing her like a fiddle. But I do like the song. I do like the song. It's good. It's not great, just like the first single. It's fine. It's a good song. I'm excited to hear the full body of work, and I do think she's gonna end up pulling some stops out. Like, I do think there's gonna be some hits on it. Maybe not on the charts, but like in my heart. I think we'll have some good ones that I like, but we'll see. So we had Candy Paint by Normani. We also had the 360 remix from Charli XCX featuring Robin and Young Lean. I loved it. There's a lot of discourse on TikTok about people saying it's better than the original, and that's a bit of a stretch in my book, but I do like the remix. I think it's fun. If you want to talk about complete opposite album rollouts, Charli XCX has had the perfect album rollout. She is killing it with this album promo. I am so excited. Again, I'm seeing her next week, like, to have a show lined up the week after the album comes out. So good. Like, I'm so excited. The remixes have been great. She had the Addison one. She has this one. The album comes out this week. Like, so much fun build up. So excited for Brat this week. And the third and final release we had from this week was another surprise drop that we didn't know was coming. It's been teased for a little bit, but not that heavily, so we weren't really sure when it was coming. But it is Halsey, the lead single of her upcoming album. The End came out, and oh my god, it is so sad, so heartbreaking. If you have not listened to it yet, just go listen to it. It is very sad. So she ended up coming out and clearing some things up because there was some stuff going around about what she's addressing in the song. Overall, she's singing about how sick she's been and how she's like not been okay to like perform and do things for a while. And she came out today and said that she was diagnosed with lupus and a rare T cell disorder. So she has been going through it. The videos that she is posting of her like getting her treatments in the hospital and all this stuff are so heartbreaking. The song just like ripped my heart. I didn't know what to expect when I pressed play. And when I like got through the song, I was like, whoa, that was a lot. Like it was truly like a therapy session for her, I'm sure, which most artists that is kind of the deal. You know, you write your music to kind of dump your feelings out, and that she did. And I am just like sending so much love her way. A lot going on. I mean, she had her baby, like her I don't think they were married. Were they married? Her baby daddy and her? I don't know. They split. Like she's obviously now in a new relationship and everything, and so she's good in that sense. But she literally said, long story short, I'm lucky to be alive. Short story long, I wrote an album. So I think we're gonna learn a lot about her in this new album whenever it comes out, which she doesn't hold back. I feel like she's someone who definitely does leave it all out on her albums and like tells us a lot about her personal life. And it's been a few years since we got a Halsey album. I don't remember when the last one came out. It was that more like rock inspired one, which I did really like. I thought it was good. I don't remember when they came out though, to be completely honest with you. But regardless, new Halsey on the horizon. This single is heartbreaking, and I hope she's okay. Like it was so truly so sad. I listened to it at my desk, and I was like, I kind of wish I didn't. Like not that I was gonna cry or anything like that. It wasn't to that level, but I was just like, whoa, like I put it on, I was like working, typing away at my desk as one does, and I literally had to like stop and be like, what the fuck am I listening to? Because this shit is sad. But I did really like the song. I thought it was a really strong way to start the album rollout and just to be like, hey, here's what I've been going through. So be prepared for like a heavy album. So very excited for her to be releasing whenever that comes. Take your time with it. Your health's got to go first. And I appreciate that she didn't push herself, because I feel like sometimes artists will like put their health on the back burner and just push and push and push until they like can't anymore, whether they like have bigger health issues. And maybe that's what happened. Maybe she was on a roll for a while with touring and things like that, and I feel like maybe it caught up to her. I don't really know. But regardless, very excited for new Halsey on the horizon, and we will be definitely chatting about this album rollout as it comes, because she is somebody who knows how to do a good album rollout. And that brings us to our upcoming releases this week, which are two very, very exciting releases and some music videos. I thought that would be fun to throw those in for a little curveball. First up, we already talked about it, but Brat by Charli XCX is coming out this Friday. I am so excited for this album. I've been talking about it for so long. You guys know this album rollout has been so fun. Just so much fun. I've loved the singles. I'm so excited. Ugh, I cannot wait. So I will definitely be posting about that this weekend. Actually, because of Ball, I might not be posting as much as I usually would about the album, but we'll get there. We'll figure it out. Regardless, I'm excited. I'm sure I'm going to love it. Like, I have no doubts in my mind I'm going to love this album. So we will see when it comes out on Friday. And then we also have a single from Miss Sabrina Carpenter. Please, Please, Please is coming out this Thursday, actually. So if you're listening to this the day that I release it, it'll be out tonight. I think it's at 8 p.m. Eastern. Music video single. We also found out she's releasing her album in August. Short and Sweet is coming out August 23rd. She just doesn't stop. She is on it. Ugh, I'm so excited. Such a smart move to drop the single and the album announcement the weekend before Ball. Like, just get that excitement going. She did Espresso before Coachella. She's now doing this before Ball, which is just like East Coast, West Coast kind of vibe. Like, her and her team are on it. They are so smart. I can't wait for this album. I can't wait for this single. I can't wait to see her this weekend. More about that next week. But then we also, in addition to Sabrina's music video, excuse me, Ariana Grande is releasing the Boy Is Mine music video on Friday, and Billie Eilish is releasing a music video for Chihiro. I still don't know how to pronounce it. Regardless, one of my favorites on Hit Me Hard and Soft. So 3 new music videos this Friday. Very exciting. The music is just not stopping this year. It has just been a constant revolving door. I feel like I say it every week. And we had 3 album announcements this week. My God. So shifting gears a bit into more just pop culture news and, trucking along as we do. Paris Hilton has announced that her new album, Infinite Icon, is coming out September 6th. I mean, it's Paris Hilton. Who knows what we're gonna get? Regardless, I'll be buying. I'm eating up whatever she is selling. She's literally the original influencer. Like, tell me Stars Are Blind isn't one of your favorite songs of all time and you're lying. Cannot wait for this Paris Hilton album, September 6th. Pre-save it now. And we also found out that Megan Thee Stallion will be releasing her self-titled album Megan on June 28th, and Ice Spice will be releasing her album Y2K July 26th. And let me just say, these are the ugliest album covers I have ever seen. They are battling for the ugliest covers of all time, I fear. And that's coming from a fan of both of them. I don't know what is going on. I don't know like where the creative direction is. So first and foremost, Megan's, since she announced hers first, why are you coming out of a cocoon that's in a tree that's inside? If you haven't seen the cover yet, she is essentially, I mean, I get the image. I don't think the image is bad. Like, I think it's a fun concept of her like coming out of her cocoon, spreading her wings, I guess, whatever it may be. But the plant, the tree rather, that she's attached to is inside. And then there's this giant white M that just has like the opacity down to like 30%, spanning across the entire album cover. And Megan is just off to the left, not even like that prominent on the album cover. I think it would have been a lot more effective if it was just like zoomed in on her in the cocoon coming out of it outside with no text on it or anything. The M, I don't get it. Why are you inside when you're in a cocoon? Like, is it just me? Just like not good. And then Ice Spice, another hideous album cover. First and foremost, the album title name is in the bottom left corner of the cover. Who is looking for it down there? Your eyes go to the top, if anything. And you know what's at the top left corner? The word subway, pointing at a subway entrance. Because in case you didn't know, from all the 15,000 times she's mentioned it, Ice Spice is from New York. We get it. We know. It's like giving J-Lo. I'm like, we get it. You're from the Bronx. I understand. And I'm a New Yorker. Like, I love it. Trust me. Represent until the day you die. But like, why is Subway the first thing your eyes see? And not only that, then there is graffiti Ice Spice written on top of the whole album. So they had the perfect opportunity to do Ice Spice in graffiti on the brick wall that she's standing in front of. But instead, the graffiti spelling of Ice Spice is on the wall and then over top of her body, completely taking away from the illusion of the graffiti on the wall. And then, like I said, the album title name Y2K is spray painted in the bottom left corner of the album on a trash can. So you're essentially saying that your album is going to be trash because you're putting the title spray painted on a trash can when there's so much other space you could have put the title at. I just don't understand. And then on the subway sign, it says ice, which like is funny because like if you've never been to New York, all the subway signs have like all the letters of the lines on it. So it's like ICE and they're all different colors, which I get it. I understand what they're doing, but they're squares. And the real subway signs are circles. So I just don't understand where I don't know. I was looking at these album covers and I was like, am I being punked? Like, these are actual covers. Like, Megan's looks like AI and Ice Spice looks like they just put together something and they're like, yep, that works. Like, these are the ugliest album covers I've ever seen in my life. I I don't know. Regardless, I'm excited. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm very excited for both of these albums. This isn't me like dragging their artistry or things like that, but like did you guys look at the album covers before you dropped them? Because, like, it looks like you were dropped in your head and approved it. Anyway, new music is nonstop this year. We have so much still. It is like, just when you think it's gonna be over, there's a new album announcement, and we are only in June. Like, I was gearing up to make a whole TikTok ranking the like big album releases this year for the first half of the year. And now I'm like, I can't even keep up with what's coming out in the latter half because it's so much. This is crazy, crazy. Anywho, moving on to some other crazy music news. If you recall a few weeks ago, I made the educated judgment of saying that I think J-Lo needs a reality check and a slap in the face, and I think she got it. Her tour has been canceled. And now there's a lot of reasons as to why this could have been. But I'm just gonna go with the fact that there's low ticket sales, even after rebranding it as a greatest hits tour, which just like yikes. Anywho, allegedly the tour is canceled because she needs to focus on spending time with her family. Suddenly, she is now seen at a flea market with her daughter. 2 days after the tour is canceled, she is reconnecting with her best friend Leah Remini, who they had a falling out over her and Ben Affleck getting back together. It's just a mess. Like, I think the best thing for JLo right now is for her to like go away for a few years. Go take a breather. Go back to the Bronx, back to your roots that you love so much. Get your orange drink, get your bag of chips, get your ham and cheese on a roll, whatever your fake ass bodega order was. Go back. Go relax. Get out of the public spotlight for a little bit. You'll be fine. You'll be good to go. Like, we are not fooled by the rocks that you got. We know you're okay. Go relax. Go take some time off. Have a comeback. 5, 10 years. Biggest comeback. J-Lo, back. Then do your greatest hits. Like, you're just too, she's being shoved down our face to a point where it's like, where it's too much. And I don't dislike J-Lo. Like, I will put on like old Jennifer Lopez music and I am the whole little dance. I'm good to go. But like, mama girl, sometimes you need to just, take a step back, breathe. It's okay. It's all right. Like, you'll be fine. You're Jennifer Lopez. Take a breather and come back in a few years because right now, Messiana, like, mess the house down boots. I don't know what's going on. Girl is, I don't know. While we're on the topic of messes, did you guys see Adele's residency this weekend? Which, first and foremost, before we even hop into this, we need to give Adele her flowers because this bitch, every single time she does a show in Vegas, something goes viral from it. It is truly incredible the way that there is some viral moment from every single time Adele does a show in Vegas, whether it was opening weekend, the way that she flew under the stage. Remember the confetti falls and she disappears. Her second grade teachers in the audience, the kids she babysat are in the audience, somebody's getting engaged or this or that. Like, there is just always some story headline about her residency, and that's how you do a residency. Pack it with a punch, leave the girls wanting more. Like, she is killing this residency. I just love her. But this past weekend, she was talking about work and how, like, it sucks to be working, something along those lines. And somebody yelled out what sounded like pride sucks. And in the video that I saw at first, it literally sounds like they're saying pride sucks. And I was like, do you not know that Adele like frequents pieces in the West Village in New York City? Like, she is the biggest ally, and you're gonna go and be like anti-LGBTQIA plus? Not on my watch, and neither on hers. She literally immediately snaps back. She's like, did you just say pride sucks? Did you come to my show and say pride sucks? Are you fucking stupid? And the way her accent, I could never even try to emulate the like power behind that accent that she had. And she was pointing her finger like her mom mode was activated. She was pointing that finger like her son just forgot to go clean up his dirty clothes or forgot to do his dish. She was full on mom mode. And you just like, how could you not love her? How could you not stan Adele? She is everything. It does turn out that the fan did not say pride sucks. They said work sucks. But I love that Adele just like jumped to our defense. Like, regardless of what was said, who said it, where she was, she didn't care if she was in a professional setting. She didn't care if she was on the street. She didn't care what was going on. She was like, you're not going to come into my show, into my safe space and talk bad about the gays, which like, you have to love her for that, right? Like, she's just everything and then some. And speaking of other people that I love, Miss Miley Cyrus is on the cover of W Magazine for their pop issue right now. And before we hop into everything that was said in the interview, because it was such a good interview, I have to point out the fact that the title of this interview is literally the exact same title as a Two Pop to Handle title from about 6 months ago. Miley Cyrus got her flowers. Literally scroll back to like January. That was my podcast episode title. I'm not saying that I, started a trend, but like 2 plus 2 is 4. It's the same title. Just saying. All I'm going to say, my impact. No, I'm just kidding. That being said, this interview, oh my God, there was so much in it. She is just, again, how could you not love Miss Miley Cyrus? Two things, two main things we're going to talk about that I couldn't even say if I loved one or the other more because they are just so chef's kiss. First and foremost, she says, and I quote, competition is really of no interest to me. I don't think of other artists as opponents. Artists are not the same as athletes, playing a zero-sum game and keeping a score. There isn't a score in art. Mic drop. Like, I love that so much. So essentially, they were asking her about how do you feel about finally winning your first Grammy almost 20 years into your career? And that was her response. She's like, I don't see it as a competition. I am not making music to compete for charts, to compete for numbers, to compete for this, for that, for Grammy nominations, for Grammy snubs, for awards. Like, I am releasing art to be consumed, not to be chart obsessed. And there's a lot of artists who need to hear that. I'm not going to name any names, but if somebody comes to your mind when I say that, it is not my fault that the shoe fit. Just like Cinderella, if the shoe fits, put the glass slipper on. That being said, Miss Miley Cyrus has no competition. She's in her own lane. I love her. And the next part of the interview, I mean, you guys know how I feel about Miley and Beyoncé collabing this year. It is really my Roman Empire. It is to this day, like I don't understand, like I don't compute the fact that they did a collab together. Two Most Wanted, to this day, I still am like, that was fake, right? That was AI. That didn't really happen. And alas, it was not. So we found out some background about this song. So the interviewer asked her, what was it like working with Beyonce? How did it come about? Just kind of trying to get the 411, because like we all want to know. And she goes on to say, I wrote that song 2.5 years ago. My mom would always say, I love that song so much. When Beyonce reached out to me about music, I thought of it right away because it really encompasses our relationship. I told her, we don't have to get country, we are country, we've been country. You being from Texas, me being from Tennessee, so much is going into this song. And then she goes on to say, getting to write a song and not just sing for Beyonce was a dream come true, which, like, yeah, same. This collab is like the dream collab of all dream collabs for me. And just like knowing that Beyonce reached out to Miley for this, crazy. Knowing that Miley was like, "Oh, this song is literally me and Beyonce's relationship." So like they're girls. Like they're friends. Like did they chat? Like you know what I'm saying? That song is literally like I'll be your ride or die until the day I die. Like it's me and you girl. Like are they close like that? I didn't know that, which like to me that just like nourishes my gay little heart. Like, oh my God, my two top girlies are each other's top girlies. Like, I love that. I don't really think they're that close. Like, I think they probably stayed in touch. I'm sure when they see each other, they chit chat, whatever. But like, just so cute. And I love that song. I love the two of them. And I love that Miley did this interview. I've said it before. Miley doesn't give interviews that often. Like, she's not really a press girly. So when she gives an interview, I feel like she really gives the interview. She will lay it all out. Like, she doesn't hold anything back. And I just love that about her. We sometimes get, like, too many interviews from artists, and we're hearing the same thing over and over and over, and we can like recite it back to them, and it just starts to like water down the interviews. Like it doesn't make you excited for them anymore. And the fact that Miley's very selective with who she does interviews with and what she does them for, you know what I mean? Like she's very well thought out, her and her team, with who she does the interviews with and when she does them. So I feel like we don't get too many from her, but when we get them, they really pack a punch, and it's just always a solid interview. So I love that. Just I love seeing Miley Cyrus win. She deserves the world. And switching gears a bit, another magazine article, but not so positive. The Daily Mail has a lot to say about the current climate of who the girls are thirsting over. The Daily Mail released an article basically saying that hot rodent men are in and golden retriever boys are out. That headline is so crazy to read. When I saw this come across my timeline, I was like, this is a joke. This is the Onion, right? Like this isn't a real publication, but sure enough, I mean, I guess is the Daily Mail really a real publication? That's an issue for another night. But yes, so they are celebrating hot rodent men, and they say the reign of golden retriever heartthrobs is apparently over. Instead, women long for someone who is loyal, unconventionally attractive, with sharp eyes and angular faces, otherwise known as the hot rodent boyfriend. Then they go on to use the examples of Barry Keoghan, Kieran Culkin, Jeremy Allen White, Maddie Healy, Tom Holland, Mike Faced, and Josh O'Connor. Which I don't know how to say this without sounding like an asshole, but like if you did put a picture of all eight, however many people I just named together, like there's definitely some qualities that, go across the board. And they aren't wrong. Like these men aren't the most conventionally attractive. Like they aren't, they're not Mark Wahlberg in the 90s. They're not Brad Pitt. They're not, these like heartthrob men who, have Chris Hemsworth that people thirst over. But like to call them hot rodent men is really like probably one of the craziest things I've ever heard in my life. And like first and foremost, don't come for Barry Keoghan like that. That is Sabrina Carpenter's man, and I would go to war for them. Like, try again. Absolutely not. And also, like, I am attracted to every single man on this list besides Kieran Culkin. And he's just like not my type in that sense. But like every other man on this list, at one point or another in their life, like I would, you know what I mean? And also to have Tom Holland in this group, I think that's a bit of a stretch. Like if you put Tom Holland next to Maddie Healy, there's a clear passage of who is better looking. Just a very, very interesting. I don't even know what to say about it because it really is such a crazy statement to make. And like in the thumbnail, it was a picture of Barry, Kieran, and Jeremy Allen White, like face plastered on this article. Like there was no denying who this article was about. And like very just like a very bold statement. I don't know. It was crazy. Uh, Hot Rodent Men is the craziest thing I've ever read in my life. I'm sorry. That is like who comes up with that? Like, where does that even come from? I don't know. I think we have to leave it at that because, like, that headline was truly, truly insane. Moving on to another headline that caught my eye this week, but for different reasons. I'm not over that. Like, I'm not gonna get over Hot Rodent Men for a long time. It might have to be the episode title. I think the episode has to be like Hot Rodent Men and Ugly Album Covers or something like that. So we'll see if that's what I come up with when I edit this later. But regardless, moving on to our next topic is something I am so excited to talk about, and it is the Traitors US season 3 cast is here, and it is jam packed. If you were listening when the Traitors season 2 was on, you know that I am obsessed with the Traitors. It is season 2 was genuinely the best reality TV I've watched in years. It is up there with All Stars 2 of Drag Race. Like it is golden tier reality television. So the fact that we already have the season 3 cast, I am so excited, and this cast is going to be so good. So we will run through it quick and we will just talk about who I'm excited to watch in the cast. First up on the list, we have Rob Mariano from Survivor. Next up, we have Dorinda Medley from The Real Housewives of New York City. Third, we have Chriselle Staus from Telling Sunset, my fucking mother. I love her. Brittany Haynes from Big Brother. Danielle Reyes from Big Brother. Bob the Drag Queen from RuPaul's Drag Race, which, my fucking god. Wells Adams from The Bachelorette, Bachelor in Paradise. Chanel Ion from The Real Housewives of Dubai. Gabby Windy from The Bachelorette, who I'm obsessed with. Dylan Efron from Down to Earth with Zac Efron, who's just as hot as his brother. Tommy Vlachos from Survivor. Jeremy Collins from Survivor. Dolores Catania from Housewives of New Jersey. Robin Dixon from Housewives of Potomac. Bob Harper from Biggest Loser. Sierra Miller from Summer House. Lord Ivar Mountbatten, a British royal. They love to throw like a random curveball into this mix, but whatever. Carolyn Weiger or Uyghur from Survivor. Sam Ishgari, the model and actor famously known as Britney Spears' ex. Fucking bizarre that he's on this show. Another bizarre one is Tom Sandoval from Vanderpump Rules, and then Nikki Garcia, who was a former professional wrestler. This is a stacked and kind of crazy cast. First and foremost, Chriselle Staus. I mean, I would literally live and die for this girl. I'm obsessed with her, and I'm so excited to have her on our television in just another element. I cannot wait. Dorinda Medley is fucking crazy, and I cannot wait to see her on this season. I didn't watch her seasons of Housewives of New York. I just know her from like Twitter and TikTok, and I know that she is batshit and calls it how it is, and it's just like down your throat, calls it how it is. What is her iconic line? She's like, eagles don't hang out with pigeons, so go eat your breadcrumbs or something like that. Like, she is iconic. I don't even watch the show to that extent, and I know who she is, so I'm very excited for her. I mean, obviously, Bob the drag queen is such a smart person to be on the show. Bob knows how to play a game, and Bob knows how to like keep a straight face and just like keep something going. So I'm very excited to see how Bob plays on this show. Obviously, I'm obsessed with Bob. Gabby Windy, I did not watch her on The Bachelorette, but I did watch her on Dancing with the Stars. And from that, I just fell in love with her personality. She's so funny. Jocelyn, here's your weekly shout out. You knew it was going to come eventually. Jocelyn told me and Thomas that she loved her when Dancing with the Stars was announced. So we were like looking out for her, and I started following her on Instagram, and I was hooked. I love her. She is so funny, and I cannot wait to see her in this atmosphere. Who else? Who else? Dylan Efron, really random that he is on this. Literally Zac Efron's brother, but he's pretty to look at, so like I'm fine with that. Dolores Catania, who I know is another housewife fave, she will be on. Um, Tom Sandoval. This is like really something I was not expecting to see him have this like redemption arc almost. If you don't know the whole like lore of Tom Sandoval, essentially he cheated on his girlfriend with his girlfriend's best friend, Scandoval. It was like the biggest news story I feel like of what was that, 2022, 2023 maybe. Regardless, he is just like not really the most like loved in the Bravo world. I don't watch Vanderpump anymore. I used to, and I actually want to get back into it, but I just know he's not like a fan favorite because of the shit that he's done. So the fact that he's on this show is kind of giving Johnny Bananas in season 2, where like I feel like they're gonna just like vote him out early to get him off the show. Cause like, do people want him on the show? I don't know. I don't know like the lore behind him. Like, do people like him again? Like, what's the vibe with Tom? Because I don't really know. But curious to see how that plays out. And then I mean like Sam Asghari, I don't even know how to pronounce his last name, but Britney Spears' ex is literally his name. It's Britney Spears' ex. Why is he on this show? What did he bring to the table? He's been in like 2 movies and 1 TV show, and you're calling him a model and an actor? Yeah, he modeled on Britney Spears' Instagram for a year and a half and then left her. Like, very weird. I don't know. I don't love that he is on the show. I feel like he is a leech. But you know what? I wasn't in the casting call. I wasn't there when they were, maybe next season they'll call me and they'll want me to pick, some better people for in that sense. But regardless, this cast is stacked. I am so excited. We don't have a date or release or anything for it yet, but we will be chatting about it. I am over the moon excited for season 3. So definitely stay tuned for that. And if you haven't watched season 2 of Traitors yet, please go watch it. It is chef's kiss, phenomenal television. And that leads us into one of our final segments, our TV recap of the week. So right now, I am watching The Kardashians. I am watching Drag Race All-Star Season 9. Let's chat about it. Kardashians. First and foremost, Corey is the biggest member of the Beehive I've ever seen in my life. There have been 2 episodes of this show, and he has worn 3 Beyonce shirts in the 2 episodes. You have to stand. Literally on the private jet, he's wearing one. Front row at Kendall's fashion show, which was under the Eiffel Tower, which we'll get into in a second, but like insane. Wearing a Beyonce shirt. And then he was wearing one in the first episode, I believe when they were out to dinner or they were somewhere. I don't know. He was wearing a Renaissance shirt. And I'm just like, not Corey being a stan. Like, I'm kind of obsessed. But then, like I said, Kendall, they show her L'Oreal fashion show. Mind you, they mentioned the word L'Oreal at least 47 times in the hour-long episode. So I'm so curious what that check looked like because they were literally saying L'Oreal as if the show was called L'Oreal on Hulu. I was like, we get it, bitch. You're walking in the L'Oreal show. I understand. But that show was crazy. They were literally walking under the Eiffel Tower. I feel like I remember when she was doing Paris Fashion Week and like when it was happening, because obviously I'm chronically online. I don't remember that being as big of a headline as I would have expected. Like Kendall Jenner walking in a L'Oreal fashion show that just so happened to take place under the Eiffel Tower. Is it just me who's like, why wasn't that bigger news? Like, am I the only one who was like, what the hell? That's crazy. Very cool. Next, we see Ryan Murphy is having dinner with Chris and Kim, and he is essentially pitching Kim for more American Horror Story, which seems to be like something she's loving. I honestly haven't watched her seasons, not because I don't want to. I'm bad with like starting TV shows. I have a list in my phone that is so long of shows that I need to start and need to watch. And I always tell people I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it. It's a me thing. I put it off. It's like Amazon, I was talking about earlier. I won't order something until the last minute and then it's too late or I forget or like I don't know. It's like it's a character flaw. I'll work on it. Regardless, she is, loving this American Horror Story thing. They do the whole little premiere at Scott's house and I just kind of love this journey for her. I think though I was bitching and moaning about how much she works last episode, I think it's cool to see her seeing the payoff of it, if that makes sense. Like, I don't love the work. Oh my God, I'm all I do is work. Da, 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 da. Like, it's enough. We understand. But I do like to see her like feeling good about the work that she does, if that makes sense. Because I feel like for a while, and I hate to even like say this, but she was kind of just like the girl in the sex tape who is now married to Kanye West and who was married 3 times before that. Like, I love watching her see her work pay off. It's kind of like the fashion show last season where she worked so hard every single episode. The Dolce & Gabbana show, Dolce & Gabbana show, Dolce & Gabbana show. I was like, we fucking get it. But then when the show happened, it went off without a hitch. Like, you could tell she was so proud of herself. So to see the payoff, I do enjoy watching as a fan. That being said, I will start American Horror Story eventually. Maybe in 2025. I'll get there. I don't know. But the big takeaway for me from this episode was Chloe and Kylie talking about Jordan Woods, which, if you don't know the whole Jordan Woods allure of it all, I can't get into it. But essentially, Jordan fucked Chloe's man. That's all you need to know. Jordan, Kylie's best friend. If you want the more details, go Google it. If you don't know, that's on you. Sorry. But they're talking about Kylie running into Jordan and them hanging out, and how Chloe is just like, Chloe takes hits from people like it is her job. Like she should have been an MMA fighter the way that she lets people just punch her over and over. I'm sorry. If my sister's best friend fucked my baby daddy, she would never see the bitch again. Never again. I don't care if you are Kylie Jenner. Absolutely not. And like, it's great that Kylie and Jordan could rekindle things and, Chloe's okay with it, but like, Chloe really just lets people, she's too forgiving, which like is a flaw to a point. It's good to be forgiving, it's good to forgive, forget, and move on. But she does it to a point where like I hate to say it because I do really like Chloe, but like she lets people walk all over her. And it's not a good look. I hate it. It makes me sad because she's like she has a very pure heart. I don't know about the rest of them. I'm not a Kardashian like stan truther. I just enjoy their content. But like I do believe that Chloe has a heart of gold. And the fact that she's like sitting there, she's like, yeah, go hang out with Jordan. I don't care. Like that's big. That is a big thing to do, especially when it's your sister and especially when it's being filmed for a TV show. It's just very crazy, but it's cool to see them talk about it and not just like brush it off, I don't know, it just kind of it gives us more reassurance that it's not just like, oh, we're doing it for photos and then that's it. Like it is a conversation that they have, and I think showing that they do have these conversations and that they are able to like move past things even when they absolutely should not move past things is big of her. Moving on to our next TV show, Drag Race All Stars 9. This was a very good episode. I loved this episode. So we kick off. It is another day in the workroom. And first and foremost, we have to find out who is getting these extra pins from Gottmik and Nina. And it comes to find out Gottmik gives hers to Vanjie. No surprise there. They are BFFs. And then Nina gives hers to Roxy, which I have two thoughts about. First of all, I get this fuck Chanel. I thought you guys were BFFs and you're going to give it to Roxy. Second of all, you're going to give it to Roxy? Not for nothing. Roxy is probably top competition in this show. Like, she might not be the top competition right now, but like, she's Roxy fucking Andrews. She is going to be competition, and you're giving her a leg up? That just seemed dumb to me. I don't know. Just very, I don't know. Regardless, they get these pins. That's how it starts, or the badges, rather. And we find out that we have a makeover challenge, which is always a fun challenge. It's very, like, I feel like this is the episode where you really get to meet the girls and you, like, learn more about them. Even though this is All Stars and we do know the girls already, they open up more on the makeover challenges because they're trying to, like, connect with their makeover person. I don't even know what to call them. And then, they're just trying to make these connections and they open up with each other. And there's always a very like sentimental episode, and then they kind of like slay it on the runway. So let's get into it. So the girls have to team up pairs of two, and they find out that they are turning firefighters into pop stars, and not only have to give a triplet family resemblance, so the two queens and the firefighter have to look alike, but they then have to go on and write, choreograph, and record a verse to perform on the main stage as well. So these girls are working this week, and honestly, they all kind of turned it out. Like, I was very impressed with this episode. So the groups end up being Angeria and Chanel, Gottmik and Nina, Georges and Plastique, and Roxy and Vanjie, which definitely not the pairings that I would have suspected because they got to pick their partners. But I think they were really trying to buckle down on the fact that like there's no alliances, quote unquote. Like if Vanjie and Gottmik were in a pairing, it would have been obvious. If Nina and Chanel were paired together, it would have been obvious. Like they had to kind of, shake it up a bit. And it really this season is the definition of RuPaul's best friends race. Like they're all friends. I don't think there really is much alliances happening. But that being said, they do their thing. They make over these firefighters, which these firefighters, the fact that they all were so willing to like shave their eyebrows, walk in heels, shave their chest, like they all were so willing to just do whatever these girls needed to get the win, and so accepting and like open, and just like it was nice to see these men who you typically unfortunately wouldn't expect to be so accepting and open, ready to like strut down that runway like their job depended on it. They were like, there is a cat in a tree at the end of this runway and I'm going to save it. I loved it. It was such a good makeover challenge. That being said, Georges and Plastique were robbed. They absolutely deserved the win. They devoured the looks, they devoured the choreo, they devoured the verse. Everything was so good. I don't know. I was very shocked with the judges, their decisions. But then you look back, the beginning of the episode, Vanjie literally says, in my seasons of Drag Race, I have never won a challenge. Boom, right there, you can tell Vanjie's gonna win because they want to give her that character arc, which is fine. But then, if you remember what I just said 3 minutes ago, who got the extra pins at the beginning of the episode? Vanjie and Roxy. Who wins this episode? Vanjie and Roxy. So off the bat in one episode, Vanjie and Roxy are now at the top of the competition with Gottmik because the three of them have two benefactress badges. Oh my god, that was such a tongue twister to get out. Take a breath. But yeah, they literally went from having no badges to skyrocketing to the top of the competition with Gottmik, who has won both of her badges and given one away to someone who is now on a level with her. Very crazy. I was like, holy shit. They literally they just tricked the system. Roxy and Vanjie tricked the system. They deserved the win. Don't get me wrong. Like they did do a good job. I just thought Plastique and Georges did better, but also the fact that they got pinned at the beginning of the episode and then won them at the end, things are happening. Like the season is heating up and I'm very, very excited. Roxy and Vanjie then have to lip sync against each other to Black Cat by Janet Jackson. And because it is RuPaul's best friends race, they both win. Which, like, of course they both win. Why wouldn't they both win? They then have to come together and see they cut off Miss Angeria, my Southern Belle, which it hurts me. But she is competition. Like, Angeria is one to watch. So I don't blame them for cutting her off, whether it was payback or not. Like, that girl is good at drag. She's funny. She's gorgeous. Like, I would be a little afraid of her too. I don't know. I'm very excited to see where the season goes. I am loving the season, as I've been saying. And with that, we have made it to the end of the episode. But you guys know we don't end any episode without my yes and my mess of the week. My yes being something I'm loving, and my mess being something I'm not loving. This week, my yes. I when I saw this happen and get announced, I genuinely, my jaw dropped. And now if you're not a theater girly, if you're not into Broadway, this isn't going to make a lot of sense to you. And that's okay. You don't need to get it, but just take my word for it. But the fact that Audra McDonald is going to be starring in the Broadway revival of Gypsy, I uh, it's holy shit. If you don't know who Audra McDonald is, let me just fill you in. She holds the record for winning the most amount of acting performance Tony Awards, and she is the first performer in history to win a Tony in every performance category. So she is a force to be reckoned with. When God created Audra McDonald, or she, let me say, God is a woman, she took every single ounce of talent that was possible to fit into one body and jam-packed Audra McDonald to the T. And the fact that she's going to be starring in the Gypsy revival, Gypsy, that is known as like the best musical of all time. This role has literally been played by like Bette Midler, Patti LuPone, Bernadette Peters. Mama Rose is a huge role to play, and the fact that she is doing it in the Gypsy revival just it's just a scratch in my little theater kid brain. I'm so excited. I have to get tickets. I'm like texting with my theater friend group chat. I'm like, all right, when are we going? Because I have to see this production. It's going to be insane. It's going to be so good. I could not let that not be my yes this week because like it's major. And if you don't understand it, I that's fine, but just take my word for it. This is huge. And my mess of the week. uh, Why do these rappers think they can keep coming for Megan the Stallion? Eminem made his comeback this week with his new single Houdini, and he says, if I was to ask Megan the Stallion if she would collab with me, would I really have a shot at defeat? Alluding and making a joke to the fact that she was shot in the foot by Tory Lanez, which people still famously bash Megan for it, famously will like comment on her shit saying free Tory. Like, it was like a traumatic thing. She was literally shot. Like, and these men and rappers and everyone just thinks they can keep making jokes about it. I don't get where Megan Thee Stallion became like the butt of the joke for people to continue to just like use her as a punching bag and like the punchline of her jokes. But like, it's like, come on. She's literally killing the game. She's on a sold out tour right now. She is like, she's won so many Grammys. She's that bitch. She is not just like a quick come and go rapper who was just like here to make a trend and then get out. Like, she is solidifying herself as one of the best female rappers of our generation. And these people are still just like using her as a punchline, using it as a joke, as if she wasn't literally shot in the foot by one of her best friends. Like, it just drives me insane. And like, no shade to Eminem. I don't have anything against Eminem. I don't love him. I don't hate him. Like, it is what it is. But like, just in general, really using Megan as a punching bag, like, I take it personal because you guys know how I feel about Megan the Stallion, and it just pisses me off. And that being said, that is the end of our show. Thank you guys so much for listening to this week's episode of Too Pop to Handle. If you like what you heard and you're listening to us as a podcast, make sure you go ahead and leave us a 5-star rating. Drop us a review. Let me know what you're thinking. If you're watching us on YouTube, make sure you hit that subscribe button, give us a like, drop a comment, tell me what you thought. Hit that little bell so you get notified every time I upload an episode. And if you would like to follow me on social media, you can follow the podcast at Too Pop to Handle on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, you name it, I am there. You can follow myself on any of my socials. I am at Andrew Nucatola, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. Actually, I'm not on YouTube. I don't know why I just said that, but you name it, I am there. All my links will be down below. And like I said, this weekend is going to be so exciting. I have so much GovBall content planned. So now is the time to go ahead, hit that follow button. And like I said, remember, next week's episode will be a day late. I apologize, but what can I say? It's Pride Month. It is the Gay Olympics. Your boy is busy. And with that, I will see you guys next week. Bye.